It's The Vibe with Tanya Rad and EJ, and I'm really excited because we have Coco Jones here today.
Woohoo.
How are you doing?
Good, how are you? That singular clap sent me really bad.
I know. I'm like, there's a lot
Everyone
of people
join
here. Everybody
in.
can
They
join
didn't
in.
get the memo.
It's a
fine.
party in here.
We are not the only ones in this room.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's really, really nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
I love getting to talk to somebody for the first time and kind of hear your story because I know this is kind of a new genre for you, but you've been making music for a really long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did you start, actually?
I guess professionally, I would say I started around like 10.
That's so wild.
Isn't that crazy? Yes. Yeah. I would audition and I would sing at talent competitions. And then I ended up meeting a producer who really believed in me. And he worked with me for free for 2 years. And then I guess I kind of auditioned for Radio Disney's Next Big Thing. And then I did that whole talent competition. And that kind of like started me.
And you've been doing it ever since?
Oh, yes.
That is so wild. I feel like at 10, if I knew, I had no idea what I wanted to do at 10. But you like knew, like you had that thing in you.
Yeah. I mean, even in my baby videos before I could even talk, I was humming all the time. Like always. It was so interesting for even me to watch. I was like, wow, I really was a little musical fetus.
Yeah.
Really, but yeah, my
what
parents
a blessing,
are very
though.
supportive. Yes, it is a blessing. My dad played professional football. And so they always have this mindset of whatever our kids want to do, we're just going to fully support them. As long as they're going to work, we're going to work, you know?
That's so
they didn't
awesome.
really know what to do. So we would just all figure it out. I would do my part. They'd do their part.
That's really, really awesome. Because I feel like not a lot of people get that type of support.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of sometimes kids are forced to do things or go down a certain path in life because it's just what their parents want for them. Yeah. And it's really cool to hear that your parents really encourage you to follow your passion.
Yeah. I mean, they also will keep it a bug with me. Like if I wasn't cutting it, if it wasn't giving what it needed to give, they'd be like, girl, pick up the basketball.
Right, really?
Oh no, they're the main people I trust. They had to tell me the truth, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of undeniable. Like, okay, she has to do this. Like she's really good. Like, here we go.
And so how did they help in that time? How did they help support you in that direction?
Well, you know, I'm one of 4. So my dad's support kind of looked different than my mom's. It was more like, okay, I'll balance the other kids and their other passions. And you guys go to LA every summer for every year, you know, like it was just like we'll figure it out type of thing. They didn't really know who to call or what to do. My mom would like research auditions and cattle calls. There'd be 5,000 kids and I'd go there and then it'd be up to me. What am I going to do at this cattle call? Like, it wasn't like my parents like, figure it out, Coco, like do something. I was like, if they're all saying these lines, I'm going to sing them. Like, I just had to stand out because I was like, this is just a lot.
Oh, that's so interesting.
It's important to my family. We're all sacrificing for this. Like, something's got to give.
Yeah.
So I think I always just was extra bold because I wanted it to work. So it was worth our investment, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel like you still kind of keep that mentality now?
Absolutely. I do.
Yeah.
I'm very much like I would rather look back and say I did it all confidently with my chest than to be like, oh, I was scared of what they were going to think. I was scared of rejection or no's. Like, I don't have time for that.
Or like scared of not giving it my all.
I'm very scared of not giving it my all. That's the strongest fear. So I'd rather do that than the other scary choices. They're all scary though.
I know. Isn't it funny how a lot of our decisions are rooted in fear?
Yeah. Are we going there?
Yeah, we're going there. We're going there, Coco Jones.
Sure. I didn't even have a glass of wine or something here.
Yeah, I prefer more of the therapy approach to interviews. You know, really
because I also am really big on therapy too, girl.
Oh,
so
really?
We can go there if we're gonna go. I'm just like.
When did you start your therapy journey?
During the pandemic.
Me too.
Really? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Is that when you decided to kind of shift more to R&B?
Well, I think I was always very soulful, always very R&B. Like, it's just rooted in me. I grew up listening to Aretha, CeCe Winans, like Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige. So it was always like, that's me. I do that too, you know? But I think I had been put in so many little boxes because I wanted to win. I didn't care, you know? So... And then I started to care because now I'm like 17, 18, and I'm like, dude, I don't even listen to the songs that I make. Like,
right. And you have more of an identity of who you are, an understanding of who you are.
Yes. And so around the pandemic, I think I was more like, I kind of already knew who I was and like what I didn't like singing and what I didn't like saying. It was more of like, why did I do all of that for so long? All of that pretending. Who am I? You know, like, what what's in my core, and am I carrying anything from this interesting path? Like, of course it's great, but of course every path has its pros and its cons. Like,
Yeah.
am I carrying anything from that is going to affect my future? Is going to affect like my future person one day, my family, like the little girls watching me? Who am I? What am I doing with this journey? And how do I elevate emotionally while I'm trying to elevate career-wise, you know?
Yeah. And do you feel like the EP, What I Didn't Tell You, is you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Fully you.
I do feel like it's fully me. I think it's a version of me that I had to go through the slows and the lows and the silence and the unemployed.com to really find, because you don't really have anything to say if you don't really have anything to say, because you haven't been through anything. You haven't done anything or lived anything. And so I feel like I had to like get out of that box, and it was so uncomfortable and it's so confusing. And so now I get to talk about these stories and be authentic, because I spent so much of my childhood being the opposite, you know, just being characters and playing little characters. So yeah, I do feel like it is fully me and my team. Like, I've always been the type, like, I'm only as good as my team.
Right.
I've already seen so many different people come and go in my journey who said they could do this and this and da-da-da-da-da-da. Igor's capping. Like, nobody even asked you to say all that, you know?
Yeah.
So I think for me, I've opened up more because I trust the people around me to know what they're doing and
So
not try to
important.
change me while doing their jobs, you know?
That's so important to have people around you that you really like trust.
Yeah.
Because there's like, what's that quote that you can only go so far alone, but if you have the right team around you, you can just, the sky's the limit. And I really believe in that.
Absolutely. And I think that's the hardest part, like the thing I was always praying for, because I can sing, like I can do the acting, but I don't know what to sing and who to work with,
or where to pull from,
where to go. Like, where are the people that make the things and make the songs that I like? How do I find them? I'm messaging people on Instagram. Like,
is that what you did?
That? Oh, yes.
And
like
it worked?
I'd rather have that fear than the other one. Sometimes it would work, and sometimes they left me on red, and
no
now
response.
you're sick.com. No, now they're circling back, and I'm like, dude, that's gross, but whatever. It's LA, I guess. Anyway,
Oh, that's
yeah, like,
so
I needed the
funny.
team to help elevate me. I could be this talented girl, and I'll just be a talented girl if I don't have a team who knows where to place my voice so that it gets heard.
Yeah. I love that you did that though, and you were like messaging people that you wanted to work with, because I think too, there is like this element of, you know, you're scared to reach out because what if they don't read it, or what if they read it and they don't respond? But you're like, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to work with you. I'm going to extend the olive branch, or not really an olive branch, but like extend the invite and then see where it goes, you know? And I think that is really telling of who you are too.
Yeah. I've always been like that though. Like, after some of my auditions, I'd be like, so did I get it? And they'd be like, babe, it doesn't work like that. Like,
They're like,
please,
we'll
reach
have
out
our
to your
people call your people.
Literally. I mean, when I was a little kid, I would do that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, da-da-da-da. So, what do you think?
How
They'd
cute.
be like, no. But no, they wouldn't say that. But no, I've always been like, bro, if I do not do this, I'm going to look back. It's on me. I'm the only one who's going to be upset with me, because I know what I could have done and I didn't do it, and I can't live with myself.
Yeah.
So I just be like, send. Anyway, moving on.
Right.
Block,
But then they respond. You're like, yeah.
and then if they do, I'm like, perfect. And if they didn't, I'm like, I already blocked that. Don't even recall.
I've definitely done the slide in the DMs thing, so I can relate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, this ain't no shooting shot thing. So it's for work, okay?
Right. No, totally. Yeah. And, you know, it's like, you know, if there are people that you want to work with, or brands that you want to work with, or if you're out there and you're listening and there is somebody out there that you really admire or respect in the industry that you're in, reach out to them, you know, like that's the beautiful thing about social media, is we're all so accessible. Even when people act like they're not, they really are.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree with that. I do agree. Social media is like great and terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I
it's
love
pros
that
and
I
cons.
can like literally find who did Beyonce's outfits for the tour.
Right.
But I'm like, I don't like that I can see a fine guy who lives in Prague. I'm like, okay, I don't even want to know you, sir. Like, what? Why are you on my Explore page? And then I'm like, Christ, is this you? And then I'm like, I'm not doing long distance to Prague. Anyway, it was nice meeting you, sir.
Oh, that is so funny.
It has its pros and cons.
It does have its pros and its cons.
It does. I wish, low-key, that like, if we could have it, we could just have it without like the likes and stuff. Like, people can just post whatever they want and not care.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like they were trying to do that for a minute though.
They did, but what happened?
I do know somebody that had it on their account. You couldn't see it. So they were like
some people do
experimenting
that.
with people. I think they were choosing certain accounts to experiment with, but I think it just went away.
I know. I was like,
'Cause I didn't
guys,
see
please,
it.
I liked that. I thought it was really quite peaceful.
It was pretty interesting
I'll
to
just
see
post,
that.
like, fries and not worry, like, why did I just post fries?
Right.
But I wanted to, because they looked good.
Right.
That's just how I feel.
I want to jump into the single ICU.
Okay, yes.
Because we're going
on
to,
a tangent there.
but that's okay. We're going to play that song. And I want to talk about, you're saying that this EP is really you.
Mhm.
With that song, what is the story that you wanted to tell with that? Well,
honestly, because I've been very adamant on being authentic, I didn't want to have to do that. I knew I had to, but I was like, no, because of my authenticity choices. When I heard the track produced by Camper, I was trying to make it like an upbeat, like 1, 2, ah. And so when I heard it, I was like, okay, skip. And then I was like, I have to go back to this other song. And I already knew what I had to say. I had to tell this story. Basically, the person that I was in a relationship with that I definitely loved, he definitely loved me too. But it was kind of like the closer we are to each other, the more we're like, this does not make any sense. Like who we were before we like actually accomplished our goals made more sense than who we are now with our goals. Like this is just not realistic anymore. So I'd be like, true. And he'd be like, true. Okay. Love you from far. And then it'd be like, hey, how you doing? Like, congrats. And then it would circle
pull back together.
Yes. And it's just like, every time I leave this person, I romanticize their great qualities. But then as soon as I get closer, I'm like, this is not logical. Like, what? Come on, dude. Like, we're too grown for this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like when I leave them, I see them more clearly. But it's not really like I'm seeing them clearly.
It's so it's funny. So I was like doing a deep dive on the lyrics. And
okay.
Because sometimes I feel like you might write something and I can get something completely different from the story. And that's kind of the sense that I was getting, but I was a little bit confused. I was like, wait, is she saying, are they not? They're not. They keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
And I find that to be such a universal truth. I feel like a lot of people can relate to that, because you do. I think sometimes when you end a relationship, you romanticize it.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, no. And then the fear of trying something new just brings you back to that same person. But it's like clearly not meant to be.
Yeah. And I wanted to also write it. My truth is not that it was toxic. Like, I don't want to be putting toxic music out into the world. That's not my truth. My truth was that was a great person to me. I was a little too good. And then, like, when we got more ourselves, we weren't the same. And so it was with love, I need to go. Like, with love, this is not right, It wasn't toxic.
How long were you dating?
About 2 years.
Okay. Because I was just reading this quote that was like, you have two options in a relationship. You either grow together or you grow apart.
Literally.
Yeah.
Isn't that so scary?
Yeah. So it's like,
I'm like, dang, come on, man. I just met
and
you.
then I'm like, where's the blueprint or where's like the book on how to grow together? Like, where are the bullet points on how to do that?
I feel like that's a character thing. Because I was literally just thinking this the other day. I was like, a successful relationship is just two good people being good to each other.
Well, you know what's interesting? Something my boyfriend taught me that I've never heard before, and I feel like you'll really appreciate this, is being in a relationship is being committed to commitment.
That's tea.
I know.
That is the tea, actually.
Because I'm like, everyone's going to have ups and downs and like life.
Shout out to him for knowing that. He might be a keeper.
He definitely is. But I never heard of it like referenced in that way, committed to commitment, like it's just like you're committed to the commitment that you made to each other and then that's it.
Yeah. I feel like that's with any successful relationship, working relationships. Like even now that I have like such a bigger team, I'm like, every relationship takes work. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not just going to be seamless. We're different people.
How do you make all those relationships in your life a priority? Because you're right. Like you have to work with people. You have personal relationships. There's a lot going on. How do you balance it all?
Well, I think you find like-minded people so that they understand you and they don't take it personally if you did not respond immediately or if you have been kind of MIA because you've been traveling or, they understand the ups and downs of being successful because they also themselves want to be successful or are like striving for other goals. You know what I'm saying? And so finding people that are like-minded, but sometimes it really just means like schedule it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do anything like randomly sporadic, but we can schedule it.
Right, right.
And I'll build around that because it's important for me, for my personal life, for my mental health to be not always doing this music stuff. And it's important for me to have my friendships. Like I really value these people. So schedule it.
Yeah, I'm a big scheduler too. Love a calendar.
I love a calendar. I really do. When it's color coded, I'm like, yes.
Oh, Coco Jones and I are soul sisters.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Yes,
Our kindred spirits.
Yes.
Yeah, I love a color coded calendar too.
Yes.
Speaking my
What's
language.
your sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Oh, interesting. I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, I love Capricorns.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
If I could be any other sign, it would be a Capricorn.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because you're hardworking, you're loyal, you're loving, like really great. A great sign.
Thank y'all. I mean, honestly, I need to look into them more, but I just know about mine because people tell me about it.
Right. I want to hear about what the future holds for you, Coco Jones.
Well, I am really excited for my debut album. I feel like my EP was me being a freshman at the cool college, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope you like me. But now I feel like I kind of been around and I know what's up, and people mess with me. So I'm like, cool, let me just step into this a little more. So I'm really excited for my debut album. I really want to just let go of any possible boundaries that I had on myself. I didn't even think I had any until I saw more success and more recognition. I was like, oh wow, I was a little scared, So to just be a little more fearless with my creative process, with my storylines, with my subject matter, with me as an artist. And I want to go on my own tour probably next year. Well, I think actually I'll be doing
next year, 2024.
Yeah, but I'm also going to be doing my own tour this year, smaller, of course, because I literally just got here. But I want to do bigger, you know what I'm saying? World tour next year. I'm shooting for the sky. And I would love to also open for Beyonce. I mean, I'm just also putting that out there.
I love it. Put it out there.
But yes, touring, more music, Bel-Air season 3. And yeah, that's what it's looking like.
The future looks bright.
It does. It's sparkly.
I really appreciate you taking the time to be here with us this weekend. We're going to be looking forward to the freshman album. Is that what you call it, freshman album?
Yeah, yes. I don't know. I just got my debut album. I released that name. But I feel like that's logical.
Yeah.
Because it's my first one.
Yeah. We look forward to seeing that and keeping our fingers crossed for you opening for Beyonce.
Thanks.
Love that for you. Do you make vision boards?
I do. I don't. I put them on my phone or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so crazy because I look at my old ones and I'm like, ugh, here come the waterworks.
Oh, you see it coming to fruition. Wow,
yes,
I love that.
I also think it's also to me just continuing to walk in this journey, continuing to be creative and make covers and reach out to people and do these things even when I didn't see it working out.
Yeah.
And I was not sure what the heck was going to happen. I just was kind of like, well, I'd rather keep doing it until the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Than get out of this car.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be here, and please come back anytime.
Absolutely, girl. This was fun. I'm like, we need to have drinks or something.